this does involve your career and what you're most known for. Could you tell us the process of how you got involved in the whole world of Pokemon since you auditioned for Ash and his mother and all that, and even Diglett?
Yep. Um, that really, I was working on Slayers, and the same people who were, I guess, producing that got Pokemon. So that's how I was asked to come audition because they knew me already. And we had so many auditions and callbacks, and then I got the role, and we just kind of kept going with it, not ever knowing if we were going to be replaced or if it was right or all of that stuff. And then every year we'd wait to find out if we had another year, and it just kind of inched along like that for 8 years, which was incredible. But none of us knew that it was going to be, I don't know, that here 20 years later we'd be
Yeah.
talking about it.
Well, when something small like that ends up becoming big like it is today,
Mhm.
it's always going to be a historical succession.
Yeah.
How would you relate to yourself? You've told me about how you relate to Ash, and how would you relate to other characters you portray in Pokemon, like his mother, May, and
Yeah.
even one-time characters?
Well, I think Ash's mom, especially my daughter, was born at the end of the first season of Pokemon, so I could kind of relate to her. But I have a mother. I have, so I understand about nurturing. So she allowed me to show a side of myself that I guess I don't always show, but also I would never let my child go on a journey on their own when they were 10. So that was kind of a fun thing to be the one who that's all of our dreams in a way. So to let my child go, um, that I don't know, it was a nice thing to play. Plus, she's so flighty and odd. I really liked her. May has a lot of responsibility, and I think we can all relate to that. Um, I have two little brothers actually, and the fact that she had to bring her brother along and still be so respectful and go after her goals, but take care of him, and we can all relate to that. So
Um, have you ever, when you're, what was your favorite part about voicing Ash and the others in Pokemon?
my favorite part is that I got to do it, that I had a job to go to. It was that was really great. I like the energy. I think that they were all just out there, and then we had those big battles, and it was just a great energy. That's my favorite.
I can imagine
Hmm.
battling Ash.
Yeah.
I've always imagined that as a kid.
Hmm.
And I know I've asked you this once before, but I'm sure you're aware of the banned Pokemon episode Electric Soldier Porygon that's been banned worldwide since the damage it caused.
Right.
From your point of view, because there have been voice actors that said the episode was dubbed, like Maddie
Oh,
Blostein and
right.
Eric Stewart said. What could you tell us your side on how it was processed?
I don't. To my knowledge, it was never that we never did it. So maybe they know something that I don't. So I don't know. I thought we weren't doing it. Maybe it was blended into something. I have no idea. I never heard that we recorded it
Oh,
until you've asked me. So I don't know. But Eric worked in different, since he directed some and he was directing other shows. Maybe he knows that. But I just don't. I never heard anything about it.
I guess that explains everything. And of course, about Sailor Moon.
Hmm.
And how familiar were you with the whole world of Sailor Moon before you got involved with what they're doing with it today?
I I watched some of it just like everybody has watched it, but um, I knew a bit about it, but not a lot. I'm learning more all the time, actually. Pluto's my favorite planet, so I was pretty excited to get that. But I like it. It has such uh, a base already, both a base of understanding and a fan base, that it's really neat to come into the world and try to find my way in there. And so in that way, I'm the same as Pluto. I'm very much on the outside, trying to figure out things and how to work. And yeah, but I didn't know that much about it.
What can you relate to her, not just her Sailor Pluto, but her civilian identity? I can't honestly remember the name.
I don't remember her name either, because I don't know if she ever says it, but because I've read it on the page, but I don't remember it. Uh, what's interesting about it is when she comes back as that scientist, she's able to be a little bit more warm and a little more emotional than she usually is. that's the hardest thing for me to play her, is to be so separated. It's not cold, but she has to be detached. And so when she is more human, let's say, it's more fun to play because she has a little more of a range of emotion.
All right. And last couple questions.
Uh-huh.
What message do you have to college students or anybody in particular that want to get into the voice acting business?
I think the main things I always say is study as much as you possibly can, learn everything. The next thing you want to do is make your demo so that you have about a minute of what you do best. And the third is network. So to do that, you try to meet people, you get jobs where other people are working in the fields that you want to be working in. I used to do a lot of volunteering. I volunteered, I read sides for auditions. I read for the Jewish Guild for the Blind in New York, where I did a lot of cold reading for people who were sight impaired. I don't know, I just did a lot. You can read in your library. All of that just gets your skills going. Cold reading is really necessary.
And in terms of voice lessons, I personally take voice lessons at my college. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's great because just like I played soccer, so I don't just go out on the field cold. I warm up, I learn the skills, and I work at it every day. You've got to do the same thing for acting.
Process for when I take private lessons.
Yeah, warm up, you work it out, you figure out where your range is and how to move it around and how to support it with your breath and all of that stuff. That's the kind of basic work you need to know.
All right. And before I let you go, I want to ask a couple questions from a few people.
Okay.
What does Sailor Pluto have to say?
It's awfully nice seeing you again. Thanks for coming out.
What does May have to say?
I'm not sure where we are, and I'm wondering, have you seen my brother Max?
I wish I did. And what does Ash's mother Deli have to say?
Well, it's springtime in Indiana, and I'm waiting for the flowers to come
Me
up.
too. And finally, what does Ash have to say?
Keep up the good work, 'cause you too can be a Pokemon master. Like me.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me, and it's
Thank
a really
you.
pleasure seeing
Thank
you again.
Yeah,
And
I do think the whole thing is really, I mean it when I say follow your dreams. You've got to get out there and do stuff, and you just can't give up because you're always trying to be your best. Ash would say that, I would say that, and you're doing it. I'm very proud of you.
thank you.
So this is what a great thing. Indiana Comic Con, we meet up here. It's been so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Veronica Taylor, the former voice of Ash Ketchum and the current voice for Sailor Pluto. And have a great weekend. And I hope
Yeah.
you happy trails when you a safe trip home when you get back home.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I have a lot of trips coming up, so I'll see
Yeah.
you somewhere.
All right, I'll see you when I can.
Yes. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.